and we are reading Proverbs this month. We're reading one chapter for each day of the month. So today being the 15th, we're reading Proverbs 15. We're reading from the Hebrew scriptures, or the Hallelujah scriptures, which are these particular books and scriptures that make what's known as the canon. From what I understand loosely, I'm still learning. But these are the scriptures closest to Hebrew, the translation of Hebrew. This has been extremely helpful to me. I'm on day 15 and I am so grateful. And what's interesting is I can't really explain it. There's a peace and a trust in the process that surpasses all understanding. That is connection with the Most High, and that's moment to moment, and it's beautiful to begin to understand, and there's so much more to go. And what I'm really learning also is to feel my feelings, and that when you feel a rush of overwhelm, when you begin to look at the reality of where we are in life, in the space and time, in America, in our age. If you're around my age, I'm 44, and your parents, your family, you realize at a certain point that, if you're smart, you realize that, man, I get to have a much better plan than the way I've been going, and I know I'm capable of more. So it's just being able to slow down and give some time to yourself to know what you're supposed to be doing. And I believe there's power in just contemplating that. Hello, welcome in. Hello. Hi, we're talking about Proverbs. We're talking about this world we live in right now, and how, I don't know about you, but if you want a plan, if you are looking for a plan to make sure that you are ready to lead, then stick with me, because that's what I'm talking about. When you really look at what's going on in the world, it's serious. Like, life is real serious right now. People do, I still look, I know how to have fun and joke around and have a laugh just like the best of them. And I realize, the duality can be true and kind of must be true. And so I know that, the best thing that I can do is just read the Bible. Or, this isn't the Bible technically, because it's a long story, but even the words have meanings, they're spellings. That's why I'm reading the Hallelujah scriptures, the ones closest to the Hebrew translation. And when you read this, or any, books regarding wisdom, it can feel like you're doing too much sometimes. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're like, am I trying too hard? Am I thinking too hard? Like, this is heavy, but it's like, no, life is heavy. Life is heavy, period. Like, you're going to be responsible for yourself. Ultimately, you're responsible for yourself. And then lots of us are responsible for other people, and at least are smart enough to know that we can lead, that we can lead a better life than we have right now. At least that, and that's important. So, this practice could not have been brought to me at a better time, because reading Proverbs it's really helping me to recognize that wisdom and understanding is a peaceful, steady process. And that is so refreshing, because it feels like in this world today, we're just encouraged to run I'm encouraged to hurry up and blow up and da da da. And I'm not living like that anymore because it doesn't get anybody anywhere. That's fake. I don't know what is to come except that I want to help people. Hello. I want to help people. And oh, thank you. I want to help people, and I want to help us to grow, and to have a community, especially caregivers and patients. We as regular everyday human beings, we want to be prepared, especially if we're smart. If you're smart, there's no reason you can't be prepared. Anything is okay. Yes. Yes, that's okay. This has nothing to do with being gay or not. At least I don't believe so. That's all a waste of time. We don't have time nobody has time to care about anything besides survival of the species and survival of the family unit and the community. Like right now, and we're at a weird crossroads because it's not just survival, it's thrival. We don't want to just think survival. That's what's keeping us down. It's time for us to thrive. And that brings a different energy. And it means that each and every single one of us have to be leaders. We can't keep waiting for other people. So we better do it messy. If anything that's happening on the world stage is showing us right now, do it messy. I know I won't be as messy as what's going on. You know what I mean? I know I won't be. I know I won't be as messy as what's happening at the highest levels. Let me make my mistakes now and hurry up. You know what I'm saying? And not even mistakes. Hello. Nice to have you. Yes, nothing is perfect, and we got to start acting like we know that and still lead anyways. If there's nothing else we're learning from what's happening on a high level, it's that anybody can lead. So it's time for us to have confidence in ourselves. Oh, well, we might make a mistake or two. We're not going to make that kind of mistake. You know what I mean? We know now the traps. So we really can't get caught in them unless we lose the plot. And that's important to understand. Super important. Make sure that you follow me. I'm reading one chapter of Proverbs every day on the day. And so thank you so much. And we're doing Proverbs 15. Proverbs 15. This is okay. I'm going to first, before I go on, allow me to read the first 6 verses of Proverbs, because I'm going to call it Proverbs for the sake of it. But listen, it's actually called Meashly, and words are powerful. Like, it's time for us to start taking all this stuff real serious. You know what I mean? And I'm working on that. That's why I'm doing this every day, because it's time that we take it serious. And serious does not mean that there's no fun involved, like that's the thing, or no creativity involved. It doesn't have to feel like anguish. It's not either be in anguish or either be miserable or be corrupt. That's the paradox they're trying to have us focus on. Like, either be corrupt or be miserable. That's not true. We get to lead, be wealthy, be abundant, help people. We get to do all of it. Pardon me, I still have a cough. And I believe that's really a lot of the piece that's happening to me in my experience reading chapter 1 through 15 of Proverbs so far. Yes, thank you. And that is that it feels good to be guided. It feels good to be guided. And really, what does the guidance do? The guidance really lets us know that we're okay. And it's okay. Yes. The guidance lets us know that it's okay. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to feel scared right now. You know what I mean? And at the same time, it's okay to trust that the peace within and intention is important. and that God will carry us through. God is still in the miracle working, leading, guidance business. He hasn't gone out of business. And I say he, and also divine feminine energy, and because why? Okay, this is why scripture is great, because wisdom is a woman in Proverbs. Literally, wisdom is characterized as a woman. God is ever, exactly. But in specifically, wisdom is characterized as a woman. So let's read that first. Okay, because before we read chapter 15, I'm just going to read chapter 1 through 6 of Proverbs chapter 1, just so you can see why these are here, what we should be getting from these scriptures. I really think that's important. So it says, the Proverbs of Shlomo, son of David, sovereign of Yisrael, for knowing wisdom and discipline, for understanding words of understanding, for receiving the discipline of wisdom, righteousness, right ruling, and straightness, for giving insight to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the young. The wise one hears and increases learning, and the understanding one gets wise counsel. For understanding a proverb and a figure, the words of the wise and their riddles. Super duper important. Yes. Yes. Hooray. Thank you. So that's what this is for. We're reading this for knowing wisdom and discipline, for understanding the words of understanding. So we are reading this to understand what we understand. Do you understand? If you understand, then stick with me. Follow me, because it's time for us to put what we know to understand, put our wisdom to practicality. It's time to walk in the wisdom. And that's what this is giving us. Wonderful. So here we go. Proverbs chapter 15, verse 1 and on. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up displeasure. That's bars right there. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up displeasure. Bye. 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 Victor Vega. Don't fight with them. Don't fight with them. He bless his heart. You know what? Bless you. Bless you. Bless you, VVV. Bless you. You need attention. You need God. So you're in the right place if that's how your heart is feeling. All right. The tongue of the wise makes knowledge good, but the mouth of fools pours out foolishness. Bye. Okay. See you later, King. Thank you so much. Make sure you follow and pay attention. We're coming back. The eyes of Yahuwah are in every place, watching the evil and the good. A healing tongue is a tree of high, which means a tree of life. See ya. But perverseness in it crushes the spirit. A fool despises his father's discipline, but he who heeds reproof is clever. The household of the righteous is a great treasure, but in the income of the wicked is trouble. The lips of the wise scatter knowledge, but the heart of fools is not so. The slaughtering of the wicked is an abomination to Yahuwah. Ooh. But the prayer of the straight is his delight. You understand what that means? You understand what that means? That means that coming against the wicked and slaughtering them is an abomination to Yahuwah, but the prayer of the straight is his delight, which is basically saying, man, how about every time we think negatively about someone, or you think, you're letting someone bother you, and like you're wanting to say something negative towards them, or feel a negative way towards them, but God is saying that's an abomination to God. Pray for that person. When you pray for those people, that's your delight. That's beautiful. I'm sorry you feel that way, man. I'm I'm sorry. Why? Well, may God be with you. May God be with you. I understand, man. This world, it's like, what's the point? You know what I mean? It feels like, what's the point? But don't feel like, what's the point? You know, that's an illusion. That's just I mean, honestly, there is no point. There is no point. And that's what's beautiful. There is so little point to any of this that why are you wasting your time talking to me? You know what I mean? Like literally. And I'm talking to you, my friend in the chat. I'm not trying to, people can see it if they want to. There's no need to feel sorry for me. I don't feel sorry for you. I'm just saying that's tough. I know how that feels. I don't feel sorry for you though. That's your choice. Everybody has their choice. Nobody has to listen to anything. Nobody has to believe anything. In fact, it's so pointless that you can believe whatever you want. That's the truth. Life is so pointless that you can believe anything you want. Whatever you choose, however you choose to feel, how you feel. And so anyways, a son is wise through his father's discipline, but a scoffer shall listen to rebuke. For the fruit of the mouth, a man eats the good, but the desire... Oh, wait, I'm reading the wrong one. Okay, The way of the wicked is an abomination to Yahuwah, but he loves him who pursues righteousness. And this is true. This is true. Discipline is grievous to him who forsakes the way. He who hates reproof dies. He who hates to be corrected, instructed, learn, dies. Discipline is grievous to him who forsakes the way. He who hates reproof dies. The grave and destruction are before Yahuwah. How much more the hearts of the sons of men? A scoffer does not love his reprover, nor does he go to the wise. A glad heart makes good a face, but by sorrow of heart the spirit is stricken. Glad heart makes good a face, but by sorrow of heart the spirit is stricken. The heart of the understanding one seeks knowledge, but the mouth of fools feeds fall on folly. All the days of the afflicted are evil, but gladness of heart is a continual feast. Better is a little with the reverence of Yahuwah than great treasure with trouble. Better is a meal of vegetables where love is than a fatted calf with hatred. Woo! Woo! That's good right there. Better is a meal of vegetables where love is than a fatted calf with hatred. I wish somebody listen. A man of wrath stirs up strife, but he who is patient appeases strife. Okay. Yeah. The way of a lazy one is like a hedge of thorns. The way of a lazy one is like a hedge of thorns, but the way of the straight is a highway. A wise son makes a father glad, but a foolish man despises his mother. A wise son makes a father glad, but a foolish man despises his mother. Folly is joy to one lacking heart, but a man of understanding walks straight. Without counsel, plans are nullified, but by great counselors, they are established. Oh, this is great. This is great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is great. This is saying, without canceled, plans are nullified, but by great counselors, they are established. Plans are established. A man has joy by the answer of his mouth, and how good is a word in its season. The path of high, which again is life, the path of high is upward for the wise. The path of life is upward for the wise, to turn away from the grave below. Yahuwah tears down the house of the proud, and he establishes the boundary of the widow. Evil thoughts are an abomination to Yahuwah, but pleasant words are clean. Evil thoughts are an abomination to Yahuwah. So in order to be like love and like the light, and to connect in with God's way of doing things, evil thoughts get to be dissipated. And I believe that. I'm on that side of the truth, He who is greedy for gain troubles his own house, and I think this goes into the not rushing. But he who hates bribes, all right. The path of life is upward for the wise, to turn away from the grave below. Yahuwah tears down the house of the proud, and he establishes the boundary of the widow. Evil thoughts are an abomination to Yahuwah, but pleasant words are clean. He who is greedy for gain troubles his own house, but he who hates bribes lives. Woo! The greedy for gain part, man. Now is just the time to be peaceful, patient, working on the self, and being ready, preparing, tilling the soil, preparing for goodness. Yeah, this is beautiful. The heart of the righteous ponders how to answer, but the mouth of the wicked pours out evil. The heart of the righteous ponders how to answer, but the mouth of the wicked pours out evil. Oof. That right there, that's permission to just be still with information and not have to answer right away. Because again, the definition of evil, if it's whatever takes you off your path of life and abundance, it could be the smallest thing. It could be the smallest thing you say yes to, or the smallest reaction you have to something or someone. And instead of just being quiet and allowing yourself time to process things, you feel like you need to respond right away or resolve it right away. No, that's actually not how things work. And everybody's timeline is different. You'll have a system eventually if that's what you're focused on. And it's okay to put first things first. And that's been a really big revelation here. Mm-hmm. Yahuwah is far from the wicked, but he hears the prayer of the righteous. The light of the eyes rejoices the heart. A good report gives marrow to the bones. The light of the eyes rejoices the heart. A good report gives marrow to the bones. An ear that hears the reproof of high dwells among the wise. He who ignores discipline hates himself, but he who listens to reproof gets understanding. He who ignores discipline hates himself. That is such a powerful statement, bro. So real. Man. Wow, that's incredible. The reverence of Yahuwah is the discipline of wisdom, and before esteem is humility. He who ignores discipline hates himself, but he who listens to reproof gets understanding. The reverence of Yahuwah is the discipline of wisdom, And before esteem is humility. That is so strong. He who ignores discipline hates himself, but he who listens to reproof gets understanding. The reverence of Yahuwah is the discipline of wisdom, and before esteem is humility. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me today for the Proverbs as a practice reading. This chapter is intense and so on point. Wow. He who ignores discipline hates. That's deep. That's deep. I'm really working on discipline. I hope you do too. This is the era. If you're 44 years old, it's our turn to lead. We're just getting started in leadership. It's our turn to lead. Peace and blessings. Keep rising and shining. Make sure you follow. Tomorrow I'll be reading chapter 16. Tomorrow's the 16th of the month. I'll be reading chapter 16 live. I'm reading a chapter live every day for the day of the week, one chapter of Proverbs. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Follow the playlist, Proverbs as a Practice, where if you want, you could go back to chapter 1 and watch me read all the way through. The transformation is real. 2 weeks in, and I feel like a brand new human being already. I feel like a brand new human being already, and with a different level of understanding. So anyways, thank you so much for participating in this experience, and may God bless you all and bless us all. May heaven help us all, and keep rising and shining. Peace.